This is the moment a legend is forged in blood and brine. The duel between Ragnar Lothbrok and Earl Haraldson is the dramatic fulcrum upon which the entire narrative of Vikings turns. It is not just a fight for leadership, it is the brutal, political manifestation of a clash between old power and new ambition. Ragnar's victory immediately secures his family's safety and installs him as the new Jarl of Kattegat, shattering the rigid, fearful hierarchy that preceded him. This single combat unlocks the age of Ragnar, transforming him from a revolutionary farmer into the relentless, destiny-driven leader who will challenge kings and gods. To truly grasp the sheer seismic force and the devastating emotional cost embedded in this conflict, we must first meticulously trace the specific, converging pressures that made this battle an inevitable, fatal meeting. The entire tragedy is rooted in the fundamental conflict between Ragnar's restlessness and Haraldsson's rigid control. Earl Haraldson represented the old way, traditional, conservative, afraid of risk, and obsessively protective of the limited power he possessed. His refusal to allow Western exploration was not just caution, it was a psychological fear that new success would challenge his established authority. He was the anchor, holding Viking society to its familiar shores. Ragnar, conversely, was the embodiment of new ambition, a farmer and warrior whose mind burned with curiosity and whose spirit was fueled by the seer's prophecy and a deep, almost spiritual conviction that greatness lay west. When Ragnar defied the Earl and sailed, he didn't just steal ships, he stole the future of Kattegat. This act of defiance was an unpardonable political sin. Haraldsson's subsequent actions, the attempts on Ragnar's life, the murder of his old friends, and the brutal attack on his farm that resulted in near-death injuries to Ragnar and Lagertha were not simple revenge. They were the desperate, psychological lashing out of a threatened tyrant. Haraldsson knew that his very existence depended on crushing Ragnar's new, dangerous idea of kingship. Ragnar, therefore, enters this duel not just for power, but for survival and to avenge the violation of his home and family. The duel is the only legal, definitive resolution to a political rivalry that had become personal and deadly. The combat begins with a psychological feint. Haraldsson attacks with the heavy, powerful rhythm of the establishment. His weapon swings with the predictable momentum of authority. He is attempting to crush Ragnar with weight, not skill. Ragnar, however, meets this with the fluid, evasive defense of the rebel. He uses his shield like a dancer uses a partner, for leverage, not just blocking. He is allowing the Earl to use up his strength, conserving his own limited energy. This initial phase is less about damage and more about measuring the cost. Every heavy swing from Haraldsson confirms his belief in brute, unthinking force. Every fluid dodge from Ragnar confirms his belief in cleverness and efficiency, the same mindset that led him to the Western Oceans.
The culmination of the fight is less a grand heroic charge and more a moment of stark, brutal reality. Ragnar executes the final, decisive movement, a feint, a trip, a simple, clever action that brings the massive figure of the Earl crashing down. The heavy armor, which was meant to be the Earl's great protection, suddenly becomes his casket. The weight of the old way has doomed him. He is defeated not by superior strength, but by the weight of his own tradition and his refusal to adapt. The sight of the defeated Earl, lying helpless on the wet sand, is the definitive end of an era. The aristocracy of inherited power has been humbled by the ingenuity of the common man. This is the psychological heart of the scene. Ragnar stands over Haraldsson, the axe raised. This is the moment where he is truly tested. Does he kill the man quickly and cleanly, or does he relish the destruction? The Viking warrior culture demands the kill, but Ragnar's eyes betray a flicker of pity and understanding. He sees not just a tyrant, but a tired, desperate man whose time has simply run out. There is no great boastful monologue, only the harsh, cold sound of a man fulfilling a brutal necessity. In killing Haraldson, Ragnar is committing the ultimate political act, crossing the threshold from defiant farmer to ruler. He takes the man's life, and with it, his destiny. The reaction of the spectators seals the dramatic exchange. Lagertha watches with a grim, proud resolve. She knows this death was the only thing that could guarantee the safety and future of their family. She sees the necessary ruthlessness in her husband and is drawn to the power he has claimed. Rollo, however, watches with a mixture of awe and sickening, corrosive resentment. He sees the destiny he felt was owed to him being claimed by his brother through this single, bloody act. The Earl's death creates not a peace, but a new, deeply volatile tension within the Lothbrok family, the tension of who truly deserves the fame and the power.